Hello! In this video we're going to talk about Venn diagrams. Venn diagrams are a way to visually describe and talk about sets, and that's all they are. They're a tool to be used to figure some stuff out. And since they're set stuff, we can use some of the same vocabulary we've already learned and illustrate it using Venn diagrams. But before we do that, let's talk about some basic vocabulary and notation. The universe is something you're going to hear pop up quite a bit, and this isn't the one that's full of stars. This is a rectangle that describes everything that we're talking about, or everything you are dealing with in terms of sets. I think this will make sense as we move on, but let's consider this example from our set stuff. If we had a set containing all sorts of desserts, then we could say that our universe, which is often called U, is all desserts. And let's say what's contained in this set of desserts. Well, let's see. What kind of desserts do I like? I like all sorts of desserts. I like coconut cream pies. Coconut pies, we'll say that you know what that is. What else do I like? I like cherry pie. Lots of pies. And I promise this is related. I'm not just talking about desserts here. We like strawberry. I'm just going to call it shortcake. We like eclairs. I think there's a little thing there. And what else do we like? We like trifles. Those are layers of fruit and whipped cream, and we like yellow cake. And so these are all kinds of different desserts, and they make up our universe. Okay? So in a Venn diagram notation, what you would say is, let's see, how many are there in this set? Well, if we put commas between all of them, because, you know, that's what we do, there would be one. Let's change colors so we can kind of mark them. There would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 things in this universe. So we would say our universe is 6. And our universe is everything we're talking about. And so we draw this big square, and we put a U underneath it, and we say universe equals 6. Okay, now let's go ahead and move on. Let's look at some more notation. Now we're going to draw a couple of different circles. First, we're going to draw a creamy circle. And this seems kind of weird, but bear with me. And we're going to go ahead and label that cream. And then we're going to draw a circle called fruit, or fruity. And why am I doing this? Well, these are containers that we could use to hold all of our different kinds of desserts, right? There's either, I could spell fruit properly. There's either, we could separate all of our different desserts into these categories, or neither of these categories. So let's actually do this sorting. So what do we have on our list down here? So let's start at the top. Coconut pies. Well, they don't really have any cream in them. Well, I guess they do. I don't make a lot of coconut pies. I do like them, but I don't make a lot. I'm going to go ahead and put coconut pies under cream, and I'm just going to put cocoa. Let's pretend that we know that's a coconut cream pie. And actually, they have to have cream because they're called coconut cream pies, right? Cherry pies, well, they have fruit in them, right? Cherry, and we're just going to put cherry. And so these are like containers, right? They're just going to hold the things that fit under each. Strawberry shortcakes, well, that one goes into cream because I've never had a strawberry shortcake without whipped cream. I guess if you're lactose intolerant, you would, and we'll just put strawberry because I'm lazy. So, and strawberries are also fruit, so we're going to go ahead and put strawberry with the understanding that this is strawberry shortcake. Okay. And let's see, an eclair, well, that has cream in it, right? See, a trifle, well, trifles have fruit and cream in them, right? So, because what a trifle is layers of fruit and cream and cake and all sorts of stuff, so that's pretty tasty. Trifle and trifle. And let's see, what else do we have? Yellow cake. Well, yellow cake has cake and icing, so it doesn't go in either. Okay, sorting's all done, and that wasn't too bad, was it? So what do we have so far? We have Let's go ahead and change the color so we can kind of talk about what we got. We've got our big universe here. That's our big box that contains everything we're talking about. We've got containers. Think about Venn diagrams as containers. Then we've got 2 circles, 2 more containers. And this is everything we're sorting. And we've labeled them. One's a cream container, one's a fruit container. It's just like if you were sorting your fridge. You got places for everything, and you put everything in its place. And then we sort our stuff. And that's all Venn diagrams are about. Sorting your stuff and using that sorting to solve problems. So let's go ahead and, when we're looking at this, I hope you're noticing that we have a couple of interesting things happening. So what's going on? Well, the first thing I noticed is we've got something hanging out. Yellow cake is neither creamy, it doesn't have whipped cream on it, doesn't have cream in it, nor does it have fruit on it. And that's okay, it's just hanging out in the universe, it's cool, it's delicious, it's okay to be a dessert that is not fruity or creamy, that's fine. And so that's why we have the universe. Sometimes neither fish nor fowl, that's awesome. And the other interesting thing is that we have 2 desserts that are both creamy and fruity. They're in both containers. And that's kind of interesting, isn't it? We have Trifle, and it's in cream and fruit. And we have strawberry shortcake is in cream and fruit. And it's making me think, instead of writing it twice, because if we were going to try to solve a problem, potentially we could count it twice. What if we did this problem a different way? And so what if we had drawn our containers so they overlapped? And this is the crux, this is the meat and bones of how we use Venn diagrams. So let's kind of start from scratch. I'm gonna scroll down here and we're gonna go back to our black ink, and let's go ahead and draw our universe again, right? And we'll label it, and there's 6 things in it, and we're gonna draw our cream, and we're going to draw our fruit. Please forgive my circles, they're not very pretty. And so let's see, we had coconut, and we're just going to call it cocoa. We had, what else is on the list? I can't really remember this stuff. Cherry, and cherry's just in fruits, that's okay. What else do we had? We had strawberry shortcake in the middle. I'm just going to call it straw because it's really tight in there. Then we had, I forgot eclairs. See, eclairs go over here. I think it has that thing over the top. I can never remember. We've got trifles. They go in the middle. And then we have yellow cake out in the outside. So now we come to the time of truth. We had both blueberry and trifles, both trifles and strawberry shortcake that were both in cream and fruit containers, and now they're in this overlap area. How cool is that? So if we were going to describe things that were both fruity and creamy, they're right there. How cool is that? So you say, okay, how is any of this helpful? And I say, Anna really loves desserts with both fruit and cream. Which dessert should she serve at her party? I could go right over to this handy dandy chart and see that in this overlap, strawberry and trifles both have cream and fruit. Well, it's actually a birthday party for Anna's cats, and Anna's cats hate fruit. So maybe we shouldn't serve anything with fruit in it. So we could then decide that we're not going to serve anything with fruit in it. And so we would know which desserts we can serve. It's really handy, isn't it? If this is sounding like a math problem with some desserts involved, it's because these are the first kinds of problems you will hear when you start talking about Venn diagrams. Granted, they might be a little more complex. They might not talk about desserts, but they're going to be really straightforward, and they're just going to involve you drawing some circles, sorting some things out, and talking about how you would use Venn diagrams. So what should you take away from this? Well, I've got a couple of points about what you should think about. So what are Venn diagrams? Venn diagrams are a great way to visually describe sets and solve problems about sets. You can use the same vocabulary you learned when you learned about sets. So if you're not familiar with some of that vocabulary, take a step back, look at some other videos, look back at your book, and get comfortable with those concepts and vocabulary. How do you get started with a Venn diagram? If you don't do anything else, start with the universe. This is a square around your Venn diagram that contains everything in the problem. And then look at all of the categories in the problem. Let's say it's different kinds of animals. Well, if it talks about cats, make a circle for cats. If it talks about dogs, make a circle for dogs. It's all about making containers that fit all of the different things in the problem. And then finally, in this video, I used 2 circles and 1 universe. Now, you're always going to have 1 universe, but you can have as many or as few circles as needed for the problem. And so not all Venn diagrams have 2 circles. As you play with more stuff in Venn diagrams, you're going to see more circles. It's not too bad. I know you can do it. Play with it a little more. Check out some of the other videos. Do some practice problems, and I know you're going to get it down.